Ladies and gentlemen, a fully automated McDonald's is a great idea until one of the machines breaks, or until the software is hacked by some foreign agency who wants to shut down the drive-through, or until people get frustrated with a machine that they can't talk to, or until we miss just face-to-face communication. And I'll take you in 1 second. And because there are so many ways in which this could turn out badly, I suggest that we should not automate our drive-throughs. You would disagree, Jerry?
There's already so much things that are automated. Why not McDonald's ordering? Technology stops us from interacting with people and helps us to not get COVID.
Two parts to this question. Firstly, you assume that the automation of other things is already a good thing, and I would disagree with that. I would suggest that the things that are automated that used to be in person, I preferred my experience with in-person service infinitely to the automated version. I cannot count how many times I tried to use a self-checkout and then the self-checkout machine starts flashing and I have to call over an attendant, and ultimately who solves the problem? A human being. I'll take you in just 1 second. And to your point about the role of COVID in this debate, I would suggest that since COVID, so many people have been out of work. So many people are having trouble finding jobs in the service industry. And I would suggest that this automation is just going to be even worse for workers post-COVID. Jerry, you would disagree?
Wouldn't you agree that fully automated McDonald's software will be they will be tested, and they should be safe until they actually can be released into the public for people to use?
Well, I would disagree. Just because software has been tested doesn't mean that it's consistently effective. I mean, how many times have you tried to use, like I said, an automated checkout? Or how many times have you tried to call Bell on customer service and the automated platform doesn't understand what you're saying? Just because it's been tested doesn't mean that it works. Coach Tammer, you would disagree?
Isn't this an example of eliminating kind of a rudimentary or menial job from society so that people can then focus their energies on more sophisticated jobs and let automation do the mind-numbing work like flipping hamburgers?
Well, I would argue that the problem is in a capitalist society, perhaps mind-numbing work is preferable to no work at all, when work is the only way to access social support and, health insurance, or just a basic salary. So I would suggest that until we have a universal basic income, or until we have consistent social security that means that people don't need to work these mind-numbing jobs, then we still need opportunities for people, especially people looking to enter the workforce for maybe the first time. The fast food service industry is a place where people get some of their first encounters with the work world, and from there, using that work experience, they can get jobs that are less, mind-numbing, as we would say. And so giving people the opportunity to enter the workforce, I argue, is still incredibly important. Jerry, you disagree?
You said that a random person will actually hack the system, right?
Well, I would suggest that this is a real risk. Consider just last week, Sick Kids' entire software was hacked by an external partner company. And think about how much security a hospital must have around their electronics, the amount of complicated and dangerous machinery that they have in there. Think about how much complicated machinery is involved in preparing fast food. We're talking about ovens, we're talking about stoves, hot grease. I argue that it's incredibly dangerous to have these machines operating unsupervised. The fire risk. I think the amount of personal information that a corporation like McDonald's is in possession of, having that automated is, I argue, incredibly dangerous. Jerry, yes.
Wouldn't you agree they could just have like cameras and software to detect if there's been a hacking, and if there is, just shut down all the things and just wait for like 10 minutes?
I argue that they could have all the prevention in the world, but we can't predict the future, and we don't know how someone could access this software, because the way that someone accesses the software, hacks this company, somehow gains remote control of some of these facilities, they will find that little loophole. They'll think of the one thing that they didn't think of when developing this software. And I argue that that is where the greatest risk is. And I don't think that that is a risk that is even necessary to take. If it's not broken, don't fix it.